Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'm going to be playing another Premier Draft of Theros Beyond Death, the final Premier Draft before these rotate out and swap for Chromatic Cube, which should be a pretty fun time, a multicolored focused cube format. So without further ado, let's get into our pack one, pick one. We've got another Phoenix of Ash opened up here. This is going to be my third in this return to Theros Beyond Death drafts, which is kind of absurd. The odds of that are not great, but I mean, the card is great. I've played it multiple times in previous drafts of the format. If you're interested in those, one of them, the thumbnail, is literally the Phoenix of Ash artwork, so definitely check out that one if you want to see the power of this card, but it is incredibly powerful. Evasive creatures like flyers are pretty good in this format. This has a great fire breathing ability and an escape ability, even if it gets dealt with, to just keep coming back and finishing off your opponent. So Phoenix of Ash is an absurd rare. It's easily going to be the pick here. If that weren't in here though, Shimmering Chimera is an obnoxious card. Omens are in this format, they're 2-mana flash enchantments that all have a good enter the battlefield effect, and with Shimmering Chimera you can just bounce them and keep recasting them every single turn. So the Shimmering Chimera is actually a very, very powerful card as well, but not quite rare Phoenix of Ash worthy. Here in pack 2 we see an excellent uncommon, a little bit awkward to see Final Death in the same pack as it because that's going to push somebody else into black, but Elspeth's Nightmare is also a phenomenal card. It's always going to be pretty much at least a 2-for-1. Destroy a creature an opponent controls with power 2 or less, then make them discard a non-creature, non-land card. And then on the third mode, you get to exile their graveyard, which actually ends up pretty good in this format with so many powerful escape cards, again, like Phoenix of Ash. So Elspeth's Nightmare, super nice. If any two of those modes are relevant, if you get to destroy a creature and then exile their graveyard when they have escape, that's great. If you get to make them discard a spell and then destroy a creature, even if they don't have escape cards, that's great. Elspeth's Nightmare, just a pretty great deal. Overall, phenomenal saga. Alright, now Treacherous Blessing is not a good black card. You get to draw 3, but then every time that you cast a spell, you're going to be losing a life for the rest of the game unless you can blow up your own Treacherous Blessing. So don't love that card, but I do love Drag to the Underworld. 4 mana for an instant to destroy target creature is already a good deal, and with your Devotion to Black, this could cost even less. It's instant speed every time. Drag to the Underworld is going to be an easy pick for me. It's definitely better than these red cards. The next best cards in the pack are the great green escape cards, Loathsome Chimera and Voracious Typhon in this pack. Voracious Typhon, though, my favorite, my #1 escape common. But then there's also Banishing Light and White. This is just a great pack in general. We're going to take that Drag to the Underworld, though. One of the strongest cards in the pack and on color for us. Okay, pick 4 now. We can scope up this Mogis's Favor, which is great against 1 toughness creatures and also great at stacking up in addition to some combat damage to help your smaller creatures trade up, stuff like that. Card is pretty good, and we're definitely leaning towards black-red here. So I'm going to go for Mogis's Favor, I think. Are there any other good cards in this pack? Starlit Mantle's pretty annoying, being basically a counterspell. One with the Stars is pretty good removal in blue. Pious Wayfarer is great if you're an aggressive white deck with a lot of enchantments. But yeah, Mogis's Favor is definitely one of the top cards in the pack, even regardless of color, which is nice. Looks like we're getting cut off of red pretty hard here, unfortunately. So we might not be able to live the Phoenix of Ash dream a third time around. There is a Loathsome Chimera in this pack, though, which is a phenomenal escape card in green. And in last pack, we saw Voracious Typhon and Loathsome Chimera in there still, so looks like green might be a solid place to go here. Ichthyomorphosis in blue is pretty good, too, if we want to go towards blue-black, but I think I'm going to take the Loathsome Chimera here. Just a big fan of any creature with escape on it. Just a very powerful mechanic. Getting you a ton of value because you get to trade your creatures off into opposing creatures or removal spells or something like that and then just get them back later anyway. Putting you up a card every time you escape. Alright, yeah, definitely seeing some more solid green stuff here. Hyrax, Tower Scout, and Chainweb Arachneer. In green-black, I'm a little more interested in Chainweb Arachneer. Up front, this card isn't very good, but you can just chump block with it to get to its escape path, which its escape path is very good. A big old 4/5 that shoots a flyer down when it comes into play. So yeah, I like Chainweb Arachneer here. I like it better than the Tower Scout in green-black because green-black has a lot of good self-mill. So you can make a very good green-black escape deck. If I were like green-red or something, then maybe I'd like Tower Scout more than Arachneer, but probably not. Probably not. I just know that I definitely like Arachneer better for this color pair. So in red, we have Arena Trickster and Maze Warden, which are both pretty filler. In green, we have Owen of the Hunt, which is also pretty filler unless we're really trying to splash something in. So I guess we just take the strongest card in the pack, which this is a very weak pack in general. It might even just be like Flicker of Fate, just a weird little trick here. Maybe a Shoalkraken or a Turtle or something. I don't know. Not a particularly strong pack at this point, but we are pretty late in the packs. So I guess I'll just take like a Maze Warden since there's a shot we get to move back into red. We'll see. Well, late Incendiary Oracle, and there's nothing good in green or black here, so we'll take that. Definitely not taking Fairy because Libration until I'm really hurting for removal. And we're definitely not at that point right now, so Incendiary Oracle, maybe we do get to move back into red here. Another Mogis's Favor, or a Hyrax Tower Scout. Solid filler creature, 3 mana 3/3 is a pretty chunky size, and the untap ability is nice. But it is still filler, even if it is solid filler, where Mogis's Favor is a card I'm always pretty dang happy with. I think I'm going to take another Mogis's Favor. Now we have Relentless Pursuit, definitely good in the green-black deck. It's getting you some self-mill while you draw a creature in a land. Really late Sentinel's Eyes, I think this card's pretty great. But we're pretty far from a white deck here. So we have 4 black cards, 3 red cards, 3 green cards. So we're looking towards black-green or black-red. It is possible we go into green-red, but a little bit less likely since we have a tiny bit more black than anything else. And our black cards are all phenomenal, whereas our red cards and green cards are just solid. Okay, Arena Trickster, Temple Thief, pretty filler creatures. We'll just take the one in the color we're definitely playing. Or the one in the color that we're more likely to play. Especially since Arena Trickster is kind of a blue-red gold card. It's just not really good unless you're specifically the blue-red deck. So Testament Training is solid. I think it's better than a pick 12 card for sure. Because it's just always, it gives you that cycling. It just gives you a card back the second you play it. Even if it has pretty low impact, and sometimes it's kind of high impact. If you throw it on a Voracious Typhon or a Loathsome Chimera or something, turning a 4/1 into a 5/1 trample is pretty big. So yeah, I like Testament Training, since it does give us that card draw just immediately. There's no massive downside to running it. Biggest downside is if your opponent has instant speed removal to blow it up in response. Wow, oh my god, this pack is so good. Oh my god. I'm so sad I only get to take one of these cards. Oh my god, so we have Timuret, which is like the incredible anti-escape card. If you're playing a deck like I'm playing here, even if we're green-black or black-red, escape either way, we scoop to Timuret. Our opponent plays Timuret and we just lose on the spot. So Timuret is just really, really good against graveyard decks in this format. Fairy Spawn, though, is really powerful in graveyard decks in the format, though. 4 mana for a 3/4 is already not a terrible deal, and then the escape ability on this card is really good. For 6 mana and 3 cards, you escape this, and it's going to be a 5/6 that makes your opponent sacrifice a creature when it comes into play. Insane. Insanely good escape card. But then when you look at the commons, we have Venomous Aerophant, great for self-milling. Lamp of Death Vigil can close out the game out of nowhere. Voracious Typhon is another phenomenal escape card. Warbriar Blessing is removal in green. That is an excellent pack, and I wish I could take like 4 cards out of that pack, but I can't, so I'm just going to take the really powerful proactive escape card. Timuret is so good too, though. Just like 2 phenomenal uncommons and like 4 really good commons for our deck. Super sad to open that pack. Happy and sad at the same time. Just really good stuff in there. Only 3 red cards. We have 4 green cards now. We're probably green-black. Get another Loathsome Chimera here or an Underworld Charger. We take the Underworld Charger if we really want to lock in on black. Or I guess if we want to stay more open to red, then we take Underworld Charger, but we take Chimera if we want to lock in on green-black. A Nax in a deck with Phoenix of Ash is... I mean, that's pretty nuts. That's a great couple of cards together there. Could make a real good aggressive deck in red-black. Probably supposed to commit at this point, but I do think a Nax is the strongest card in this pack. A little bit better than Chimera or Charger. I'm gonna just not commit. I'm gonna keep bouncing between these 3 colors for now. But like, if you look at it, like, this looks like an excellent start to a black-red aggro deck. And then, this looks like an excellent start to a green-black escape deck. So, I mean, things look real good here. This pack actually looks pretty bad. There's a lot of on-color cards, but they're all very filler. At least most of them are. Like, Dreamstalker Manticore is just not for our color pair. Scavenging Harpy's like fine. Moss Viper's fine. Another Relentless Pursuit would be fine. It's actually a really weak pack because we are the 3 colors that are really represented in this pack, and we're not even that excited about it. So can't imagine what a blue or white drafter thinks when they see this pack. They're like, all right, well, Triumphant Surge. I guess I could still take Dreamstalker Manticore. No, Relentless Pursuit's probably better. Scoop up that Relentless Pursuit. Because if we go green-black, that self-mill is going to be pretty gas, whereas the Dreamstalker Manticore is not really going to activate that often. Okay, so this pack I'm definitely taking black removal. I'm taking Mire's Grasp, or I'm taking Final Death. It's if I want some cheap removal to stop the quicker decks, or if I want great exile removal to stop the escape decks. We already have double Mogius's Favor. But that's really bad against 2 toughness creatures in a quick deck. But Elspeth's Nightmare also kills small stuff. I think I'm doing solid on killing small stuff. I'm actually going to take Final Death over Mire's Grasp, which is weird because Mire's Grasp is phenomenal. And generally by itself would be a little better. But I'm leaning a little more towards Final Death because of what my other removal spells are good at. Petitioners, whatever. Forerunners, whatever in green. Omen of the Dead is solid in black, but Incendiary Oracle I think is a little better in red. Stay open to that black-red aggro deck here. Take that card. This is going to be an easy pick. Easy Venomous Aerophant. Great for either deck. Because it's the black card there. And then same with Soul Reaper Mogus. Best card in our colors here. And it is the color that we're definitely playing. Maybe we'll just jund them out. We'll go black, red, and green. We'll see. Probably not, but it's possible. Funeral Rites, pretty good in black. Draw 2, mill 2 for the escape stuff. Alright, it looks like this pack did kind of solidify us towards red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. We have exactly the same cards when it comes to green or red still. Venomous Aerophant or Lampet of Death's Vigil. Those are both great for us. If we're going red, we have 3 2-drops. I think I would still want more. I think I'm going to take the Lampet here. Aerophant is real good with escape cards, but take the Lampet. I think I want to get more cheap stuff on the curve. Especially because if I go the black-green direction, then I really don't have 2-drops right now. I don't like Grim Physician, but I don't like Temple Thief either. But I'm just going to take one of the black 2-mana creatures to fill out. Not going to be super excited about any of that, but Infuriate's probably the best. If we go red. So there's black-red. Looking good, honestly. Black-green. We just have like a solid black core no matter what we do here. Black-green also looking pretty good because this is more of like a 5 on escape. Well, on color, excellent rare. Get in the deck. We're just opening so many good cards. It's insane. We just dragged to the Underworld and Final Death, which are both also excellent for this deck. We can't really take those right now over the incredible rare, the Woe Strider. 3 mana for a 3/2 that comes with a 0/1 and lets us sack a creature to scry 1. And then it escapes for 5. When it comes back, it's going to be a 5/4 that still brings a goat with it. Woe Strider's just really good. We have to take that. But it's in a pack with other excellent black removal that is not going to wheel. So that is sad. That is a sad time. Woe Strider's really good with an axe with all the Satyr tokens. Ooh, Grey Merchant of Asphodel or Erebos' Intervention. Stop. I only want one good black card at a time. Please, world. Please, Arena. I don't have to make choices like this. So we have Final Death, Drag to the Underworld, Elspeth's Nightmare and a couple Mogus' Favor for removal, I could definitely still use more like Erebos' Intervention. But Great Merchant of Asphodel is going to be a killer in this deck, because our core color is going to be black, and this can really end some games with that big life drain ability when it comes into play. I'm going to take the Grey Merchant. Definitely can see the argument for Erebos' Intervention, if that is the card you would take there, but I'm on Grey Merchant over here. There's nothing playable for us here. I guess Skolo Grove Dancer for green-black. Escape would be fine. We do need more 2-drops in that color pair, but I'm not very excited about Dreamstalker Manticore for the black-red deck, or either of these other twos. I guess I could rare draft a Nyx Bloom Ancient, but I'm not going to play that at all. So we're probably supposed to take Skolo Grove Dancer. Now we see Warbriar Blessing for the green deck, or Mystic Repeal, really cheap interaction, or Loathsome Chimera. So for the green deck, what do I want the most out of all this? I don't think it's Warbriar Blessing. Probably not Mystic Repeal either. I think we're doing solid on interaction. I think it's the Chimera, actually. Get some more creatures into here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Cut 7 cards and we have a 22-card deck. Yeah, now we have enough green or red cards. We just decide after the draft if we're green-black or green-red. Because we'll have enough to make either deck. Really. Portent to Betrayal's very good with a free sack outlet, like Woe Strider. And pretty good with a 1-mana sack outlet, like Lamp of Death's Vigil. I'm going to take the Portent for the red-black sacrifice deck. I'm definitely going to take Underworld Charger for just going in the deck no matter what this time. Now, nothing good for either deck. I guess Grim Physician maybe goes into either, but it's not very exciting either way. Aspect of Lamprey, I did have a little bit of experience with it now and it was fine. Play around with that. I already have 1 Cling to Dust, which actually doesn't seem that bad. This could just be like 1 mana, draw a card, but it's probably not main deckable. Alright, Discordant Piper's super sweet for either deck. Definitely better for the sacrifice deck. I think I take that over Triumph of Nax. It seems like a very slow card for something trying to be aggressive. Because I picked up a Portent of Betrayal, I'm gonna take a War Leader to just make sure the Portent can always kill something, or just more often can kill something. I think we're going black-red, based on these just last-second pickups here. And I still get to cut 4 cards. So I still have a lot of choices to make in deck building. Okay, probably cutting Cling to Dust Grim Physician. But then what else? Well, I'll cut that Temple Thief, that's for sure. I might cut that Aspect of Lamprey, actually. It was fine when I played around with it, which is better than I thought it would be, but it didn't seem like a massive card or anything. Oops. Let's get these card styles out of here. Actually, we can keep an Axis on because it's not one of the wibbly-wobbly 3D cards. Okay, 2 cards to cut. Our curve ends at 5, and we've got a lot of aggressive 2 and 3 drop cards, so we can cut a land here, and then we just cut 1 more. Which could be Aspect of Lamprey. Make it simple. What's our creature count looking like? We're pretty aggressive, so yeah, 16 creatures. I don't really want to cut another creature if I'm staying aggro. Yeah, I'll cut an Aspect of Lamprey. We have to take a turn off playing creatures to do that. turn off of playing dudes and attacking. Yeah, cut the aspect of Lamprey and just call it an aggro deck. And that's the deck. Let's just hop right into the gameplay. No real explanation needed here. I mean, we stayed pretty open in the draft. Black-red or black-green. We could have been black-green escape or black-red aggro with some sack. And decided to go with the black-red aggro because just Inax plus Phoenix of Ash looks pretty exciting to me. The mana bases will be a little awkward because we are trying to hit double red on turn 3. So even though we have a much higher black count than red count, I'm still running an even split. So that could be awkward at times. That's probably the biggest issue with the deck, but we have some pretty good removal, nice cheap combat tricks, and little auras that work somewhat like a combat trick. Some good escape cards, some good card draw. Looks like a pretty powerful deck here, so we'll see if we can aggro some people out. So here we are, game 1. Unfortunately, we don't have any of our 2-mana creatures in this hand, but we have some really good stuff coming up later on, and our mana looks pretty excellent here. Elysian Caryatid is the first play from our opponent, and that gives us an excellent turn 2 play of Bolt the Bird. Kill the Elysian Caryatid. Playing against a green-black deck here. Timuret Calls the Dead is the play. Very, very good card. Mill 3 and get a 2/2 2 turns in a row. So 3 mana getting 2/2/2 is already a really good deal, and the self-mill is an upside rather than a downside. So that card is just very impressive. It's going to be hard to outperform an opponent who starts with that, because they also get to gain 2 life and scry 2 as well. Yeah, 3 mana, get 2/2/2s. Mill 4 other cards, and then gain 2 scry 2. Wow, and they curve it into an immediate Voracious Typhon. This is a very good start from our opponent here. Best play is to just drop Fairyka Spawn so we can get that in the grave to give us some value later, but Underworld Charger is just locked out of the game by the Voracious Typhon here until we can slap Mogis' Favor onto it and make it a 5/2. Yeah, here's our opponent getting the gain 2 scry 2. Timuret Calls the Dead. Definitely popping off this game. The first Iroan games as well. Oh no. We are just getting absolutely slapped by some incredible value off these rare sagas from our opponent. First Iroan games gets to make one of their creatures get 3 counters on it, and then they get to draw 2 cards the turn after that and get a gold token. Nothing we can do to stop that. Even if we had removal, we could kill Typhon, but then they make a different creature a 4/4 as well. We're certainly on Woe Strider here, right? Could play Grey Merchant, but a 2/4 blocker is not doing much to Typhon anyway. In Woe Strider, we get to at least chump and then scry after the chump. Plus, we get to sacrifice our Underworld Charger since it isn't doing much work. I guess they attacked with Typhon, so if they keep attacking with Typhon, we can start attacking with our Underworld Charger and maybe kill one of their 2/2s at least. Yeah. No reason not to attack with it. Can't block anyway. Maybe just kill a 2/2 with it. More work than it's doing on blocks, for sure. No blocks, alright. So get a few damage in. Still better than doing nothing with it. Would be pretty bold for them to throw counters on Typhon, so they probably throw it on one of their 1-power creatures. So they know they get to draw the cards next turn. And that is the play. They turn the 1/1 token into a 4/4. Swing out at us here. It's going to be pretty painful. Take 6 here. Kill a 2/2. They'll make it 7 with Lampet of Death's Vigil. Scry 1. Portent of Betrayal. That is powerful with Woe Strider out. No, it's not. Because they have the mana for Lampet of Death's Vigil. I mean, it is still removal. So we just target something and kill it. Do we want a 4-mana removal spell in our hand right now? I'm thinking of anything else we can draw, and it's probably one of the best things we could draw, unfortunately. But Lamped does shut it off pretty well. I feel like it's one of our best draws. We'll keep it on top here. But like now, considering that that's one of our best draws, I don't think we can win. Because we're drawing one of our best draws and it's still not really putting us anywhere near the lead here. So they tapped out of the Lamped mana, so we can get rid of one of these Typhons, but then they're going to draw 2 cards and still hit us really hard. We're at 7. Lamped's going to finish us off. We have to cast Grey Merchant here to not die, but if we cast Grey Merchant, we're not killing any of their creatures, and our blocks are going to be pretty terrible. Yeah, my options are Portent, and then I have 2 blockers. So if I Portent and then I have 2 blockers, I block 4 for take 1, 2, 3. And they're going to have 4 creatures down, so I'll take 3 and then take 4 more from Lamped's ability. So I just die if I Portent of Betrayal. Because they can just sack their whole field and kill me. So I have to just Grey Merchant and make some terrible blocks here. Is there any way that leads to a winning game, though? Because then all I get to do is make some really bad chump blocks. I guess maybe a Fairyka spawn does some really good stuff. I don't know. Pretty sure we're at the scoop point of the game, but we'll play it out. Opponent has 4 cards in hand now, thanks to Iroan Games being a draw 2 there. 3 mana, make a 4/4, draw 2 cards, make a treasure token. Still 2 mana away from getting the Typhons back from grave, but if I'm going to kill something here, certainly better to kill the 4/4 that doesn't come back from grave. Kill one of these 2, so they choose to kill Bowstrider. That's just bad all around. Bad times. Actually, we just die. We take 8, and then they sack 4 creatures to Lamped. Yeah, I had to just do the play I was talking about, which is just like 3 really bad chump blocks. Still, even after the Grey Merchant life gain, Lamped just puts us at death's door. Taking 8, going to 4 life, they're sacking 4 creatures, Lamped's killing us. They're doing the math here, but they've got it. Alright. Technically a misplay, but there's no winning line there, so it really doesn't matter. Just some very good value sagas from our opponent. Timrat calls the dead into the Iroan Games. Alright, I had to update Arena and then the servers were down for about a half hour, but we are back, and I don't remember exactly what we're doing with this deck. It looks like just black-red aggro. Basic stuff. Definitely need double red for that Phoenix of Ash, but we have Mogus' favorite Discordant Piper no matter what happens. We do have an even split of black and red. I'm going to keep this hand. We are on the draw here, which is definitely helpful with that. And there's our first red source. If we hit the other one, then we are just... we're all ready to go. So our opponent is on blue-white with a Tezzeret avatar. Banishing Light, Unhonored, Incendiary Oracle. Well, now that is one less Banishing Light they have to cast on Phoenix of Ash. Alright, nothing turn 4 still. Send in a Discordant Piper. Unfortunately, we only drew 1 land this game, so we don't get to drop anything else this turn. Don't get one of our 4 drops or our Phoenix of Ash. There's a big old 3/6 dork. Definitely have to cast this Funeral Rites, dig for some lands. There's a mountain. And there's 2 more in the grave. Let's go. Exactly as planned. Archon of Sun's Grace. That is not the plan at all. Please don't have an Omen. They've got an Omen. You know what they have? They've got the 2 mana give it hexproof till end of turn and we just auto lose this game. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. If they have an Omen, our only chance is just exile the Archon right now and they play the Omen, they get 1 Pegasus. If they have Starlit Mantle where it gets +1/+1 hexproof, they're never going to cast it till I target it and then we'll just lose whenever I try to kill it. So we got to just go as quickly as possible here. Give them less opportunities to draw into it. Okay, Flicker of Fate. It's not an auto lose, but it's very bad. It's very bad. Down to 9. Alright, they didn't have any enchantments to follow up the Archon, but it's still a 3/4 lifelinking flyer. We are getting pooped on right now. It's pretty gross, and I don't appreciate it. If I play Phoenix of Ash, then next turn I'll be able to buff it, make it big enough for the Archon, or I could just play the Phoenix and throw a Mogis's Favor on it, because we've got 2 of them anyway, and they don't look like they're doing anything in this matchup. Yeah, I'm going to do that, so that we just immediately have a block for Archon at the ready. I should have done triple red there, should not have let the auto tapper do that. That way, even if they counter this Mogis's Favor or something weird, I can put another one out. We're down to 9 life as well now. I think I'm at the point where I'm going to start jumping with Rumbling Sentry. They got 2 copies of Flicker of Fate in hand, and now their Banishing Light gets to just get rid of our Phoenix of Ash. And they get a Pegasus. Yeah, it looks like we're getting Archon of Sun's Grace out of the game here. They had the Archon and the 2 mana way to protect it. If they only had one or the other, we would be fine. Yep, Archon of Sun's Grace will do that to you. It's 5 damage in the sky, no way to kill any of it. 0-2. Round 3 now, 0-2 so far. We're on the play this time, but we've drawn 4 removal spells and 1 creature. So definitely an awkward hand. Not playing anything of our own till 5. Other than that, we're just interacting. This feels like a mulligan. I'm gonna mull this. This is worse. Our mana is very bad here. But we'll have to keep here. I cannot really mold a 5 on the play. And at least this way I do actually take advantage of being on the play and actually start rolling some creatures out. Grim Physician, though, that doesn't beat Incendiary Oracle, so that's all good. Incendiary Oracle wins that fight because of the exile ability. Timuret wins, though, because Timuret is obnoxiously good. That is the card, if you remember when we were drafting, I said, is a card that we immediately scoop to in a deck like this. So, mold a 6 into turn 2 Timuret from our opponent. Seems very bad. If we hit a swamp, though, we can Elspeth's Nightmare the Timuret. And then we don't have to worry about that shutting off all our escape. And also gaining them a ton of life. Yikes. Stuck on Double Mountain still. We have a mountain of great 3-mana cards, pun intended, if we do hit the land next turn, so we're not completely out of it yet. Okay. I will take the free kill. Take 3. Mogis's Favor here, maybe post-combat is the plan. Nope, bronze sword is the play. There's the swamp. All right. We can very much get back into this, because now we're going to blow up Timuret. Just dealing with a Temple Thief and Grim Physician. Bronze Sword only adds to the power, not the toughness, so even if they slap down onto a Temple Thief, we can block and trade. Very in this game still. Go for the trade here. That is off the board as well. 3 cards in their hand. They cast 1 here, the Thaumaturge's Familiar. Hopefully still a non-creature card in their hand for Elspeth's Nightmare to pull out here. Even if not, we will likely get value off of exiling their graveyard in this matchup. So their hand is a Blight Breath and Thaumaturge's Familiar. Alright. Flyer and then a big removal spell creature. What do we want to do here? We're going to take 1 in the sky, maybe 3 in the sky if they choose not to play the other familiar. I think they just play the other familiar next turn, so I think I'm okay to play a creature on the ground. Yeah, I think we play an Axe here, and the next turn we play Phoenix of Ash, and then an Axe hits really hard. We do need to get pretty worried about these Thaumaturge's Familiars, because we're going to be taking 4 in the sky every turn once they suit a Bronze Sword onto one and have both of them on the board. We need to get some flying blockers, so we'll need the Phoenix of Ash to be able to get +2/+0 to get there. Scry to the top from the familiar. Hopefully that just means a swamp for their Blight Breath or something, and not like a super scary card. We are still missing a lot of land drops off the top, which is pretty painful. Opponent has missed a couple as well, so at least they're off of 6 mana, but we're still on 3 over here. Yeah, I mean, I think we're on Phoenix of Ash. We block whichever familiar they don't buff, right? 2 cards in grave, not too far from bringing the Phoenix back. Plus now we get to start attacking with an Axe since it's not going to do much on blocks. Yeah. It is the 6th mana that they scried to the top for their Blight Breath, probably getting rid of our Phoenix to hit us for 2 in the sky. Get rid of an Axe. Play a little defensively here. Pretty happy with that. We could hit a Swamp, that'd be beautiful, because then we have Drag to the Underworld up, plus the ability to buff the Phoenix. And we just cast one of those too. Mogus' Favor. Get rid of Grim Physician and they get rid of our Satyr. Doesn't really do anything here. It's that or the Lamphead or the Woe Strider. None of these do much for us. Probably just have to hold our mana up for Phoenix of Ash to kill a flyer if they attack. But then if they attack with Blight Breath... Yeah, if we hold up the mana for Phoenix of Ash, we can buff it and kill a Thaumaturge's Familiar, but then they're attacking with the Blight Breath as well, and we're not killing the Blight Breath with anything. Yeah, let's get a Woe Strider down. This way Woe Strider can trade into the Blight Breath, and we can sack our Satyr to make sure we hit a land next turn. So we are still pretty desperate on that front. Alright, Bronze Sword onto Thaumaturge's Familiar. And set in with just that in the sky, I'm guessing. And they could send in with both. Our Phoenix of Ash isn't going to kill the 1/3. Okay, so we're going to take 3 in the sky. We're going to scry 1, get rid of our Satyr token. think we want to keep the goat around for now. Unless we don't see a land, then we'll probably have to just sacrifice another to scry again. But hopefully it's just a land right on top. Inevitable end. Alright, so we'll just sacrifice Woe Strider then. In our upkeep, there's a land, but it's not a black source. So we play Fairy Spawn, I guess? Or we play Mogi's Favor and have the mana up for Phoenix of Ash to pop off. None of these really get us there. I think I have to scry that to the bottom. We just really need a swamp. No, not that. Sack to the inevitable end ability arena, please. All right. Just pass here, they just attack all. Kill familiar, take 3, 4, 5, go to 7. I'll pass. They do not attack all right. At least I don't take much damage here. Kill one of the thaumaturges. Another black source would kill the other one. Erebos. It's not a creature. We are still off of the 4th land here. I guess I should have kept the mountain. Oh, this is painful. Lamphead Death's Vigil does not block anything. I guess they get to draw a card off of this thing dying. Still probably better to get that Devotion off their board so it's harder for them to trigger Erebos being able to attack. Discordant Piper. Okay. Taking 6 here. There's the second black source. Quite likely it's too late. We're at 6 life and we can block or destroy 1 card. Then we take 5 from the other ones, go to 1 life. Yeah, I think it's just way too late. Play Lampet and start sacking things to gain life, but we'd only have 1 creature out. That puts us up to 7. They can just sack things to kill our stuff. So even if I play Phoenix of Ash and go for the block here, they sack Piper. They can just sack Piper, the goat, and the cat thing and still get the flyer in. But that wouldn't be lethal anymore. So we'd probably just play Phoenix of Ash, go for the block there. We'd end up just taking 5 and killing that. That's most likely what they choose to do. Alright, whatever at this point. I don't know. I don't think there's any winning line. Let's just get a block. Like, we block and go for a trade, and then I guess they sack Piper to win the fight. Mogis's Favor, and that's Devotion for Erebos. That's dead on board. Rough final draft here. Oh, they don't want to kill us this turn, I guess. Okay. You just go to 1 instead? If we go to 1, then I can kill the Piper and play a creature, then I can survive, so like if I hit a land, but I don't have enough cards to escape this Mogis's Favor anyway. I'm not living either way. But I'm like, I can shut off Erebos without actually killing it by killing their other cards. I guess if I had a swamp this turn, I would have had a chance. Because if I had a swamp this turn, then I could have went a black and 1 for Lamphead, and then Drag to the Underworld would cost 1 less, and then that would cost 3 mana, so 2 mana for Lamphead, and then 3 mana to drag the Blight Breath to the Underworld. Then I'm blocking the 5/2 flyer, I'm blocking the 2/1, and I'm killing the 3/2, which shuts off the 5/6. So I think it was right to not block there, because then Swamp off the top wins us. It doesn't win us the game, it keeps us in. But now we're just screwed still, I think. And I could just pass and see if they just do nothing here. See if they misplay. So, I mean, they missed lethal last turn. We were tapped out. They didn't go for lethal. So maybe they'll do the same here. If they click all attack, we die. But if they just attack with Erebos or something... Alright. Yep, they locked it in. Brutal draft. Brutal draft today. Some really, really poor luck. Some incredible decks from our opponents. Well drafted from them. But we run up against some just powerhouse rares all over the place until round 3. We did run up against Erebos in the end, which is somewhat of a powerhouse rare, but that game was mainly the rough mulligan into even rougher draws, costing us that one. But round 1, Timuret calls the dead into the first Iroan Games. Round 2, the Archon of Sun's Grace with protection alongside it, so our removal spell doesn't go through. Game 3, really, really bad mana up against Erebos. Pretty rough. I think this deck was a lot better than it ran. This is not an 0-3 deck. This is a 3-3 at least on average, I would say. I would honestly argue this could potentially be as good as our last black-red deck that went 7-2. It just ran much more poorly, which definitely happens. Definitely win some, you lose some. That'll balance things out after some really good drafts of Theros Beyond Death. We'll even it out with a little 0-3 to top things off in the very end. So that is going to end today's video, and that is going to end this round of Theros Beyond Death drafts. I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least the other drafts. This one's certainly a little less fun with the record there and the draws and just everything going on this game. Not a lot of fun today, but hopefully you still found some enjoyment in that. And if you did and you'd like to see more, especially if you're excited for the Chromatic Cube drafts starting tomorrow, just stick around on the channel. You can like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send you some more of these videos in your recommended feeds. And as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.